guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another wrap-up video. Today's going to be my December wrap-up. It shouldn't be too long of a video because I only read 5 books, which isn't a ton of books this month. Normally I read a little bit more, but these last few months of the year have been slowly dwindling down for me. I've just been incredibly busy with just life. But usually December I have my annual trip to Helen, Georgia with my best friend, and I did post a vlog a few weeks back. But I have that Helen, Georgia trip, and then it's also my husband's birthday, then we have Christmas and all of the other things, taking the kids out to do like Christmassy type things. Like the month just kind of slips away. So I only got to read 5 books. I have 4 of them here as a physical copy. One of them I read on my Kindle. So let's go over the very first book that I read this month, which was In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I gave this book a 4-star. It's very cute. It's very easy to read. It's very Christmassy. So In a Holidays by Christina Lauren follows the story of Malin Jones. So Malin's family and their friends that they had since college basically all meet up at this cabin, and she has been doing this for as long as she could remember. And there are 2 brothers that are the sons of one of the family friends, Andrew and Theo. And it's not necessarily a giveaway because it does say in the back of it. So she makes a romantic error of epic proportions, which she does. And she is realizing that she might have to say goodbye to this cabin that has been like a home away from home for her. And on the way back home, she makes a plea to the universe to show her what will make her happy. And then all of a sudden they're in a car crash, and when she wakes up she is back on this plane going right back to Utah to this cabin, as if nothing had ever happened. So she goes back to this cabin, and every time she does something that is like leading her off the path that the universe is trying to like have her on, it takes her out. And then she wakes up on the plane all over again. So it's such an interesting read. I really enjoyed it. I know a few people that didn't like this story. I like this one more than the Soulmate Equation. I believe that's what I read from her before. I liked this one more than the Soulmate Equation, and it could be because it's Christmassy and romancy, but I just like the idea that this poor girl is just like reliving day after day until she finally gets it right. And it's a cute winter romance. I really enjoyed this one, so I gave it a 4-star. And the next book that I read is Snowed In for Christmas by Jacqueline Snow. Now this one I really enjoyed. I gave it a 4.5 star. So this story follows Becca, who is a sorority mom, and Harrison, who is the college football coach. They had a date 2 years back, super intense kiss, and then he ghosted her. So fast forward 2 years, all of the girls have left the sorority house. They are going home for the holidays, and she stays behind. But then a terrible blizzard sweeps through and knocks out the power. But basically this girl is going to end up freezing to death in this house, and Harrison just so happens to invite her over to stay at his place because he has power, he has fire, he has food, all of that good stuff, or firewood for his fire, he has food. And they become blizzard buddies, and the story kind of takes on from there where they kind of rekindle things. It's cute, it's spicy, but there definitely is more than just the spicy scenes. It has a plot to it. It's a very cute winter romance, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave it a 4.5 star. This is the first book that I've ever read from Jacqueline Snow, so I'm curious to see what else she has out there, but I really did enjoy this book a lot. The next book I read, I will post a picture of it because I read it on my Kindle, but it is Falling for Jack Frost by Molly Likovich, and she writes a lot of very short, spicy novellas. So this story follows Mary Ellery, and her father made a deal with Jack Frost because he's an ass of epic proportions. So he made this bargain with Jack Frost that on Mary's 21st birthday, he could pretty much collect her as his wife, which is exactly what Jack Frost did. So it's super short, it's very spicy, it's very to the point, but it shows like the enemies to lover kind of thing, because Mary definitely was not a fan of Jack Frost. He's taking her away from her normal life and her normal routine, and now she is to become like this ice queen of his. So it's a very short, spicy read. There really isn't a ton of plot to it, but like with these short novellas, really usually that's not the case. But it was an interesting read. I gave this one a 3.5 star. And I feel like for what it is, for a short novella, 3.5 star is a good rating. It is an interesting story. I would definitely recommend it. For people that are into these like spicy, darker fantasies, you might really enjoy this one. I also read Riding the Headless Horseman last month, and that was also a very interesting read. Honestly, a little bit more interesting than this one because it's a headless horseman. He doesn't have a head. And like that one, I felt like had a little bit of a plot twist in there, which was interesting, but I still really enjoyed this book. It was really short and to the point, and I enjoyed it. Now the fourth book, it is a manga, and it is the first part in, I guess, this little series. It's called My Dog is a Death God, and I showed this one in my Savannah vlog, which I posted up, but I did pick this one up, and I did want to get in at least one manga under my belt for the year. But this story is about a death god who gets to come down to earth in the form of a dog. He's found by someone who works at a small hospice called Okinu Hospice, or Okinu Hospital. And he's named Leo. So his sole purpose for coming down to earth is to seek out these patients who are in hospice but that are battling with like a lifetime of regret. There is something in their past that they just have so much regret about, and that they just can't, they have like this attachment to it, and that's a problem because when they pass away, they're not able to go into the next phase in their life or in their afterlife. They're kind of stuck in between, and his job is to help them transition smoothly. And this story follows the life of one particular man who has so many regrets about his earlier years with the love of his life who died and he couldn't save her. So it kind of goes into that story, and it's cute. It's just a really cute, easy read. Like I literally read this in 45 minutes or so, not even. Like it was a very fast read. But I'm waiting for the next one to come out because I do want to see how the story ends. But I thought this was really cute. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like, this is the first manga that I've ever read, so I don't have anything to compare it to. I don't know. I feel like I would give it like a solid 3.5. Like, I'm not sure if this is something that like, it didn't blow me out of the water, and it's not like something that like, oh my god, I'm gonna treasure this and think about it forever. But it was a very cute story, and I do want to see what happens in the second half of it. But yeah, I would say a 3.5 star for this story. I did enjoy it. And I'll let you guys know once the second one comes out and I actually pick it up and get to read it. But yeah, that was the fourth book that I read for December. And the very last book that I read, which at first I started reading it, I'm like immediately no. And it's only because it starts off as like a first person point of view but the first person point of view is coming from the cat Snowball, and it's the story, I forgot to mention, sorry, How Snowball Stole Christmas by Kristen McKenna. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. If it's not, I'm so sorry. But when I first started reading it, I'm like, okay, I'm reading it, but it's like as if the cat is talking and it's in first person, and I'm like, okay, you know? And then immediately it switches to third person, and I'm not a huge fan of third person, but immediately it switches over to third person, and it's like within one paragraph to the other, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like I was so confused for a second, and I'm like, is this still the cat talking? Like what the hell is this? But I caught on pretty quickly. And it has like small little sections where it jumps from third person back into first person, but it's coming from the cat's point of view. But I gave it a 3.5 star because there's certain, it's very Hallmarky for sure. It's very clean, very Hallmarky, but it's a very cute story about Snowball, who is this mischievous little cat who is basically a matchmaker. And she is trying to match together this grumpy bookstore owner with this super sunshine toy shop owner. And what are their names? Laura is the toy shop owner, Peter is the bookshop owner, and Snowball is trying to get them to figure out that there's definitely something there. There are sparks, there's chemistry. She sees it, she's just trying to get them to see it. So she is a little matchmaker cat. It's a very cute story, very clean, very Hallmarky. But I gave it a 3.5 star because although it is a very cute story, there's certain parts of it that it's like, it's a little too like cheesy for me, you know, like it just has like a few little quotes in here, or like little sayings, sentences in here that are just a little too like, they're too cheesy. I don't know. Overall, I think it is a very cute book. I gave it a 3.5 star. It is a little cheesy for me, but it wasn't a terrible read. Like I was able to read it pretty quickly, and I think there's only 19 chapters in here, so not bad at all. But yeah, 3.5 stars for this one. My favorite book for the month was Snowden for Christmas, and then followed by In a Holidays. Those definitely are like my top 2 for the month. But I think overall, given that it was such a busy month, I was still able to get in a decent amount of books. And I think I ended off the year at 91 books. So I might film a video at some point before the year ends for like my top books of 2023. So I might have that coming up pretty soon. I have so many things going on, and literally I have like, what is it, 2 days before like New Year's Eve, so we'll see what we can get done. I would love to get that out because I read a good amount of books, and I feel like there are some really good books out there that I would love to share with you guys if you haven't read them. But yeah, that is all I read for December. I will come back with another video with my January TBR because I am in the middle of editing my Make a TBR jar with me, and once I make it, I'll actually be able to do my January TBR, so that should be coming up in another video. If you're still here and you're still watching, please go ahead and hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you here. I would love to share all of my bookish content with you guys. But yeah, that is all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!